Greetings, it is I, Susie Q. I'm working with, I guess, my own Akashic Records. Sometimes you start noticing that things are coming through a little bit differently, and maybe you're not really accessing some of this knowledge or some of this wisdom. So, all of this innate intelligence that we're working with right now, like we've got all this AI stuff, it's kind of extraordinary, strange, and weird, but I really kind of love and embrace the Akashic Records. When I first started doing the Akashic Records, I kind of found that there were some really nice sentiments from myself. And then eventually I would start reading and writing more. So back in 2008, I was a writer, and I've been doing it ever since then. And it's been really spectacular. So the Akashic Records for me is I get to go into other places, past lives, future lives, concurrent running timelines, as above, so below, or anything else. And some people that might think that's weird, right? But I kind of like it because if I could get a couple of pearls from some of my records that I've been I'm pulling out some of these records, I get some more guidance, some more wisdom, and a lot of that has been really helping me through since 2008. And all of this that we're working with the Akashic Records is a really great band of energy. And you could say you could go into take in one piece of the Akashic Records and just start accessing a few things from that. It could be about completion. It could be about letting things go. It could be about surrendering. So sometimes when we look at the Akashic Records, there's a whole storyline between all of that, but that's what we kind of look at is just a few phrases that may be propelling us to go a little bit deeper with the Akashic Records. Some people call it the Book of Life, or you could say the Book of Love or the Book of whatever, right? But I just use it as the Akashic Records. And I'm really kind of accessing a lot of what Edgar Casey is doing. Of course, he was very extraordinary. So I've got a bunch of his old books, and every once in a while I'll go to a page and I start kind of looking at what was he actually doing. But with myself, when I'm working with my own Akashic Records, sometimes it could be in kind of like you're almost asleep. It's kind of a state where you're kind of half awake, half asleep. And that's where you start getting guidance. That's where I start getting guidance. And when I start getting a little bit of that guidance, then I may have one or two pearls of wisdom before I go to bed or upon awakening. So all of this with the Akashic Records have been super spectacular and wonderful. Before I was teaching people back in Houston how to do their own Akashic Records. And so I did a few of those. Some folks that wanted to come in to learn how they could actually do that. It's funny, as I used to do all these psychic fairs back in Houston. I'm not doing any of it here for now. I don't know why I'm not doing it, but I just remember that I had. I just had an innately understanding about the Akashic Records, and then there was another woman that was right next to me, but she had a certification. But we sat together. It was super fun. So I just had the notion and the innate quality to have that, and she had a certification, and we both kind of thrived because we had different experiences. And all of this has been really wonderful for me here in sunny Scottsdale. And I really encourage people, if you really want to learn a little bit more about the story of your life or your soul's expression, sometimes we even go into the utero. What happened, at the very beginning, before the baby was completely formed, you start getting all of this really extraordinary information. There's a lot of information when the new person comes in with that has a baby in the belly, right? You start getting some guidance from their ancestors or maybe some cosmological things, maybe, experiencing. But you could see some of these beautiful qualities that we get from in utero. I don't know even why I'm talking about that, but I had, it's so funny, I guess I'm talking about it because I had a QHHT, I'm a QHHT person, quantum healing hypnosis person. I was like, that's stupid. Anyway, I'm just kind of cracking up. So anyway, so she was a new practitioner, and I just said I want to work about with my utero. I want to work with what happened when I came from spirit and then I came into the mommy's belly, and so that was a extraordinary experience, just to kind of lean into those energies and find out what was happening with mom, what was happening with dad. I was the last of the kids, and but then that could be that could all be involved. All the whole family is being involved with the last kid, right, in utero. All of these things that we're working with the Akashic Records, and finding more guidance, more understanding, and learning new concepts that would be best for you. I know I was cracking up earlier, but it's been kind of fun just to kind of take a look at and examine what is the Akashic Records, the Book of Life, the Book of Souls, and then we work with Edgar Casey's work. And we just focus on the very best that we can to help another person. And really for me, since I've been here in sunny Scottsdale, I've kind of been working on me, right? I'm helping other people with quantum healing hypnosis technique. And I'm also doing Akashic Records and subconscious clearing. And a lot of it is hypnosis, so I absolutely love and adore that. It's pretty fun. So the Akashic Records for me have been a pearl of wisdom. When you start looking at some of the things you're doing, like your everyday stuff, I have all these everyday things, right? Some daily practices. And I'm really committed to my practices. And then eventually, we start kind of like looking at things differently, like looking at, like today, it was like, it's a beautiful morning. I did 2 walks this morning around Papago Buttes. All of this energy here in Arizona has really shifted from Houston. I was back in Austin for a while, then I was in Houston, and then I'm here, and the energy is actually very, very clear. It's very clear. Anyway, so we just want to talk a little bit about the Akashic Records. If you ever have any interest in learning how to do that, or if you have any interest in having a reading with me, or any interest that you're interested in. So I do the QHHT, I do subconscious clearing, I do all kinds of other stuff. So I've been doing a lot with sound vibration, which is really sweet. So we'll see you soon. And namaste.